Hello everyone, welcome to the third MCQ video on the topic DC machines. And the first question is interpole winding is connected in series with armature, series with main poles, parallel with armature, parallel with main poles. And here you go. And the answer is series with armature. Interpoles are small narrow commutating poles connected in series with the armature. It produces an extra flux to neutralize the reactance MMF produced at the time of commutation process. Second question. Lap winding is preferred for dash type of machines. Low current and low voltage, high current and high voltage, high current and low voltage, low current and high voltage. And here you go. And the answer is high current and low voltage. Why? Number of parallel paths are more in the case of lap winding than wave winding. So the summation of currents at the output is more. Therefore, it is preferred for high current and low voltage rated machines. Wave winding is preferred for dash type of machines. Low current and low voltage, high current and high voltage, high current and low voltage, low current and high voltage. And here you go. And the answer is low current and high voltage. The number of parallel paths in wave winding is 2, only 2. Therefore, it is used for low current and high voltage machines because the summation of currents in parallel paths is less than the wave winding. Equalizer rings are used in lap winding, wave winding, both A and B, lap and wave winding, none of the above. And here you go. And the answer is lap winding. Equalizer rings are essential in lap winding than wave winding because more number of parallel paths are there. For DC machine, shunt resistance and armature resistance values are dash and dash respectively. High, 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 low, 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 high. And here you go. And the answer is high, low. For a DC machine, the value of the armature resistance is very low and shunt resistance is normally very high. Shunt field of DC generators consist of dash number of turns and dash conductors respectively. Large and thick, large and thin, less and thick, less and thin. And here you go. And the answer is large number of turns and thin conductors. Because to deliver maximum power, armature current must be high and the shunt field current should be minimum. So the shunt field resistance of DC machine is very high value of around 50 to 500 ohms, and we know that R equal to rho L by A. It can be concluded that for high resistance, length of the coil is to be large and area is to be small. So shunt field must have large number of turns and thinner wire than the series field. Series field consists of dash number of turns and dash conductors respectively. Large and thick, large and thin, less and thick, less and thin. And here you go. And the answer is less and thick. The power delivered by a DC machine depends upon the armature current. And the series field is in series with the armature, so they are carrying the same current through them. And the series field are kept at low resistance for minimum drop. And we can conclude that the area should be high and the number of turns should be less because R is equal to rho L by A. What is or are the necessary conditions for voltage buildup in self-excited generator? Pole should contain residual flux. Field winding should be properly connected to armature winding. Field winding resistance should be less than critical resistance. All of the above. And here you go. And the answer is all of the above. For voltage buildup of a excited generator, the pole should always contain some residual flux. Then only it will build on that because there should be some residual magnetism. And the field winding should be properly connected so that it will keep on building up, and the field winding resistance should be less than the critical field resistance, because above the critical field resistance the generator will fail to build up. No load saturation characteristics are plotted between no load voltage and field current, no load voltage and armature current, short circuit current and field current, short circuit current and armature current. And here you go. And the answer is no load voltage and field current. It is basically the open circuit cara or magnetization cara, and this operating characteristics is plotted between open circuit voltage and field current. The effect of dash on main field flux is called armature reaction. Armature MMF, armature current, armature flux, all of the above. And here you go. And the answer is armature flux. So armature reaction is the effect of armature flux on the main field flux, and this has two effects. One is demagnetizing effect and the other one is cross magnetizing effect. So this demagnetizing effect reduces the overall magnetism and hence reduces the terminal voltage, and the cross magnetization shifts or the shape of the flux waveform is distorted, and it will make the geometrical magnetic neutral axis to be shifted from the geometrical neutral axis, leading to some sparking at the brushes. Cross magnetization leads to commutation issues, reduction in main field flux, reduction in the terminal voltage, both B and C. And here you go. And the answer is commutation issue. Cross magnetization is one of the effects of armature reaction, and it is found that it distorts the main field flux. As a result, it shifts the magnetic neutral axis from the geometrical neutral axis, and there would be sparking at the time of commutation if the brushes are not shifted from the geometrical neutral axis to the magnetic neutral axis. Normally we are keeping the brushes at geometric neutral axis, but due to this cross magnetization effects, the axis shifts to this point, so we have to adjust the brushes in order to avoid the commutation issues, that is the sparking issues. Demagnetization leads to commutation issues, reduction in main field flux, reduction in the terminal voltage, both B and C. And here you go. And the answer is both B and C, that is reduction in main field flux and reduction in the terminal voltage. Demagnetization is one of the effects of armature reaction. By vector addition, we can see that it reduces or weakens the main field flux. So it reduces the induced EMF or the terminal voltage in case of generation, because the generated voltage is proportional to the flux. Okay. Brushes are always placed on dash in order to achieve sparkless commutation. GNA, MNA, either GNA or MNA, none of the above. And here you go. And the answer is magnetic neutral axis, because due to this armature reaction the magnetic neutral axis tend to shift from the original position, that is in alignment with the geometrical neutral axis. So for safety or sparkless commutation we have to place the brushes at the magnetic neutral axis. Flux density under trailing pole tips in case of generator will increase, decrease, either increase or decrease, none of the above. And here you go. And the answer is increase. The pole tip towards which the armature conductors leaves the influence of pole is called the trailing pole tip. In a generator, the main field flux and armature flux are aiding each other under trailing pole tips region. Therefore, the total flux density will increase under the trailing pole tips. Flux density under leading pole tips in case of generator will increase, decrease, either increase or decrease, none of the above. And here you go. And the answer is obviously decrease. The pole tip towards which the armature conductors enters into the influence of a pole is called the leading pole tip. In a generator, the main field flux and armature flux are opposing each other under the leading pole tip region. Therefore, the total flux density will decrease under leading pole tips. Which of the following is or are effects of armature reaction? Increase the maintenance and repair, increase the design cost, all of the above. And here you go. And the answer is all of the above. Because due to armature reaction, the flux density is increased under one half of the pole, so iron losses increases. And the commutation process deteriorate and severe sparking is produced in the brushes. To improve commutation, interpolar and compensating windings are placed, so the design and maintenance cost increases. Therefore, all the above are the effects. Which of the following is or are the methods to reduce the armature reaction and its effects? Pole chamfering, pole stacking, compensating winding, all of the above. And here you go. And the answer is all of the above. The methods mainly used are pole chamfering, pole stacking, pole core slotting, compensating winding, interpolar winding, etc. In a DC machine, torque depends on which of the following? Flux, armature current, both A and B, speed. Here you go. And the answer is both A and B, because in a DC machine the torque is directly proportional to phi Ia, that is, it is proportional to flux as well as the armature current. Compensating winding is placed in the pole shoe, armature core, main field, all of the above. And here you go. And the answer is pole shoe. The compensating winding is placed in the pole shoe or pole face, cut into slots embedded in the pole. They are connected in series with the armature, having the same axis as armature but opposite polarity of the pole. And the last question, direction of the current in the compensating winding is dash to the direction of current in the armature conductors. Same, exactly opposite, either of these, none of them. And here you go. And the answer is exactly opposite. The direction of current in the compensating winding is exactly opposite to the direction of current in the armature conductors under the respective pole. This produces an extra flux which neutralizes the armature flux and thus reduces the armature reaction and its effects. That is all for this video. Thank you for watching this video. Please do like and share. Thank you.